On Mr. FORD1 by Jonathan Swift. Come be content, since out it must, for Stella has betrayed her trust, and whispering charged me not to say that Mr. Ford was born today, or, if at last I needs must blab it, according to my usual habit, she bid me with a serious face, be sure conceal the time and place, and not my compliment to spoil, by calling this your native soil, or vex the ladies, when they knew that you are turning 42. But if these topics shall appear strong arguments to keep you here, I think, though you judge hardly of it, good manners must give place to profit. The nymphs with whom you first began are each become a harridan, and Montague so far decayed her lovers now must all be paid, and every belle that since arose has her contemporary beau. Your former comrades, once so bright, with whom you toasted half the night of rheumatism and pox complain, and bid adieu to dear champagne. Your great protectors once in power are now in exile or the Tower. Your foes triumphant o'er the laws who hate your person and your cause, if once they get you on the spot, you must be guilty of the plot for true or false they'll near inquire, but use you 10 times worse than prior. In London, what would you do there? Can you, my friend, with patience bear, nay, would it not your passion raise worse than a pun or Irish phrase, to see a scoundrel strut, and Hector a footboy to some rogue director, to look on vice triumphant round, and virtue trampled on the ground? Observe where bloody stands, with torturing engines in his hands, hear him blaspheme and swear, and rail, threatening the pillory and jail. If this you think a pleasing scene, to London straight return again, where you have told us from experience are swarms of bugs and Presbyterians. I thought my very spleen would burst, when fortune hither drove me first, was full as hard to please, as you nor persons' names nor places knew, but now I act as other folk, like prisoners, when their jail is broke. If you have London still at heart, well, make a small one here by art. The difference is not much between St. James's Park and Stephen's Green, and Dawson Street will serve as well to lead you thither as Pall Mall. Nor want a passage through the palace to choke your sight and raise your malice. The deanery house may well be matched under correction with the Thatch Roman 5002, nor shall I when you hither come demand a crown aquart for stum. Then for a middle-aged charmer Stella may vie with your Monthermer 3, she's now as handsome every bit, and has 1,000 times her wit. The Dean and Sheridan, I hope, will half supply a Gay and Pope. Corbett 4, though yet I know his worth not, no doubt, will prove a good Arbuthnot. I throw into the bargain Tim in London, can you equal him? What think you of my favourite clan, Robin 5, and Jack and Dan, fellows of modest worth and parts, with cheerful looks and honest hearts? Can you on Dublin look with scorn? Yet here were you, an Ormond born. Oh, were but you and I so wise to see with Robert Grattan's eyes. Robin adores that spot of earth, that literal spot which gave him birth, and swears Belcamp 6 is to his taste as fine as Hampton Court at least. When to your friends you would enhance the praise of Italy or France for grandeur, elegance, and wit, we gladly hear you and submit, but then to come and keep a clutter for this or that side of a gutter, to live in this or t'other isle, we cannot think it worth your while, for take it kindly or amiss. The difference but amounts to this: we bury on our side the Channel in linen, and on yours in flannel. 7 you for the news are near to seek, while we perhaps may wait a week. You happy folks are sure to meet 100 whores in every street, while we may trace all Dublin o'er before we find out half a score. You see my arguments are strong. I wonder you held out so long, but since you are convinced at last, well, pardon you for what has passed. Solid us now for whist, prepare 12 pence a corner if you dare. Footnote 1. Dr. Swift had been used to celebrate the birthday of his friend Charles Ford, which was on the 1st day of January. See also the poem Stella at Wood Park. Dr. Delany mentions also among the Dean's intimate friends Matthew Ford, a man of family and fortune, a fine gentleman, and the best lay scholar of his time and nation. Nichols. Footnote 1. A celebrated tavern in St. James Street from 1711 till about 1865. Since then, and now the Thatched House Club, W.E.B. Footnote 3. Mary, youngest daughter of the Duke of Marlborough, exquisitely beautiful, lively in temper, and no less amiable in mind than elegant in person, married in 1703 to Lord Monthermer, son of the Earl afterwards Duke of Montagu. See Cox's Life of Marlborough, I 172, W.E.B. Footnote 4. Dr. Corbett, afterwards Dean of St. Patrick's, on the death of Dr. Maturin, who succeeded Dr. Swift. Footnote 5. Robert and John Grattan and John and Daniel Jackson H. Footnote 6. In Fingal, about 5 miles from Dublin H. Footnote 7. The law for burying in woolen was extended to Ireland in 1733.